are many countries in the world, but most of them gained independence in the 1950s. One such country is China, which also became independent around that time. But within just 40 years, China completed an extraordinary journey from extreme poverty to prosperity. In the late 1970s, people in China struggled to arrange even one proper meal a day. Today, that same country is ready to stand toe-to-toe with the United States and openly challenge American dominance. But unfortunately, a shadow is now falling over this shining star. Behind this rapid development, a silent storm is rising. The reality is that people have money, but they are not spending it. Production is happening, factories are running, but there are not enough buyers. Even the government is struggling to break this cycle. So the question is, why is this happening? And what lies ahead? China's greatest economic success become the very reason for its downfall? Why are Chinese people saving so much money? Why are they afraid to spend? And could this silent behavior slowly sink the world's second-largest economy? Let's understand today how China's economic miracle is turning into a serious threat. Since independence, China has always been in the global spotlight, sometimes because of its policies, sometimes because of its political system. But the real story began in the 1970s. This was the period when China was suffering under the harsh policies of the Mao era. Hunger, political instability, and decades of economic isolation had crippled the nation. Then, in 1978, Deng Xiaoping came to power. Deng's goal was not to modernize China, it was to save a sinking ship. At that time, China was on the brink of collapse. Per capita income was just around $200, making it one of the poorest countries in the world. That's why Deng Xiaoping introduced a new economic vision. His message was simple. Build factories, produce goods, and sell them to the world. We will defeat poverty by selling, not by consuming. There would be no shopping malls, no luxury consumer culture, only manufacturing. And soon, the entire country turned into a machine built on industry, manufacturing, and savings. While Americans were buying TVs and homes in the same era, Chinese citizens were saving their income.
सलीम खान ने जब अपनी संपत्ति का बंटवारा किया तो सारी प्रॉपर्टी सामने रखकर बच्चों से कहा, जिसको जो लेना है ले लो। सबसे आगे बढ़कर बड़े बेटे अरबाज ने बंगला और फ्लैट ले लिया। भाई सोहेल ने सलमान का फार्म हाउस ले लिया। सलीम खान ने जब सलमान से कहा कि तुम कुछ नहीं लोगे क्या, पर सलमान सलीम खान के पीछे आकर खड़े हो गए और कहा, बेटे की सबसे बड़ी दौलत बाप होती है, मैंने प्रॉपर्टी नहीं आपको लिया है।
Then came 2021. Evergrande collapsed, and with it, the foundations of China's economic system shook. Thousands of projects were left unfinished. Millions of families were left without homes. Property prices began to fall for the first time. Homes, once considered the safest investment, turned into China's biggest nightmare. The government tried to intervene, cutting interest rates, offering tax relief, but nothing worked. People lost confidence. They stopped spending because they no longer trusted the future. Today, Chinese citizens save almost 8 times more than Americans, not out of happiness, but out of fear. Fear of losing jobs. Fear of medical expenses. Fear of retirement with no support. They are saving for survival, not prosperity. And China's biggest challenge isn't just savings, it's its aging population. By 2040, 1 in every 4 Chinese citizens will be over 60 years old. Economists warn that China is moving toward a demographic time bomb. Older populations save more and spend less. As China ages, consumption will fall even further. Young people now carry double responsibility, supporting themselves and their parents. Naturally, they hesitate before spending. Adding to this is China's weak social security system. Despite calling itself a socialist nation, China offers limited healthcare, low pensions, and minimal unemployment benefits. People know that in times of crisis, they are on their own. As hope fades, frustration grows. China's younger generation has begun choosing lying flat, doing the bare minimum. No ambition, no overtime, no marriage, no children. This is a silent protest against the system. Unemployment among youth has surged. By 2023, 1 in every 5 young people in China was unemployed. The situation became so severe that the government stopped publishing unemployment data. A graduate leaves college but finds no job. No money even for books, yet burdened with family responsibilities. How can such a person spend? When people stop spending, demand falls. Prices start dropping, a situation called deflation. At first, cheap prices sound good. But in reality, deflation means a shrinking economy. People delay purchases. Companies cut production. Jobs disappear. Spending falls even more. This creates a vicious cycle that is extremely hard to break. Normally, governments respond by injecting money into the economy. But China can't do that anymore. Why? Because local governments are already drowning in debt. Land sales have collapsed. Raising taxes is impossible because people have no income. By 2023, China's fiscal deficit crossed 4% of GDP, the highest in 30 years. In 2024, local governments were forced to raise borrowing limits to nearly $600 billion just to survive. China's economic engine is now running purely on debt. But if China slows down, the entire world feels it. China alone accounts for nearly 30% of global manufacturing. It produces over 70% of rare earth materials essential for electric vehicles, semiconductors, and weapons. If China's factories slow down, global supply chains will shake, from Germany to Vietnam to Mexico. China now stands at a crossroads. For 4 decades, it powered the world as a factory and lifted millions out of poverty. But that same model is now turning against it. People aren't spending. Companies aren't investing. Youth are withdrawing from the system. China's crisis is not of money, it is of trust. No trust in jobs. No trust in the future. No trust in the system. To recover, China must rebuild trust, create real social security, healthcare, and retirement support, and return economic power to its people. Otherwise, this strong-looking system will slowly rot from within. China was once called the miracle of the 21st century. Today, that miracle is quietly melting. Because an economy doesn't need to crash to fail, it only needs to stop growing. And that is exactly what is happening to China today.